Dearly cherished one, today the atmosphere surrounding you is pulsating with tension, for a concealed truth that has lingered in obscurity is finally emerging. There exists an individual who holds a significant place in your heart, someone you have placed your trust in, whose voice once provided you with solace. This person is gradually stepping into a realm you were never intended to witness. Each action they take in secrecy is woven with unease, remorse, and a burden of guilt that they can no longer conceal. However, before this truth is fully revealed, I urge you to breathe deeply. What you are soon to learn will challenge the limits of your patience, intuition, and emotional resilience. Their conduct exhibits a type of forbidden intimacy that even they can no longer rationalize. The universe has intervened to bring this message to your awareness, so release any self-blame for the unease you have been sensing. This is not merely a figment of your imagination. Beneath the calm facade you once viewed as reality, something has been festering. The silence is now about to shatter. Listen intently, for this is where everything takes a turn. The individual who is dear to you has been harboring a secret so weighty that it has altered their speech, their breath, and the way they gaze at you when they believe you are unaware. They have engaged in conversations that are inappropriate, exchanged glances that should not have occurred, and constructed an emotional connection with someone who should not hold a place in their life. What exacerbates this situation is that this hidden bond did not form in an instant. It developed gradually like a vine entwining a wall, constricting and anchoring itself until it found its hold. They are acutely aware of the wrongness of their actions. They realize that each day, they are breaking your heart little by little. And still, they persist. Yet, the universe has set forth to expose their transgressions because your spirit has called for clarity, and honesty is finally responding. Here lies the twist they wish to keep from you. The person with whom they are becoming entangled is someone who was never meant to intersect with their life in this manner. This is someone who has silently observed your journey for a considerable time, studying your essence more intently than is appropriate and secretly yearning for what you possess. They infiltrated your sphere subtly, cloaked in the guise of offering support, comfort, or understanding, while their true motives were anything but benevolent. They recognized the bond you held, the tenderness you shared, and rather than honor it, they exploited it as an opportunity. They whispered the affirmations your person sought to hear, nurturing their confusion and preying on their insecurities. Gradually, your loved one began to drift away, not out of romantic desire for another but as a result of manipulation by someone who envied the light you embody. What is occurring transcends mere betrayal, it is an act of invasion. This next revelation may leave your heart momentarily halted. The guilt suffocating your loved one is profound. They are petrified of losing you, of being unveiled, and of you discovering the minor yet consequential emotional opening they forged with another. They deem it harmless, label it as transient, and convince themselves it is merely a phase, yet deep down, they understand the gravity of the situation. They have crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. Each dawn, they awaken hoping for some divine sign to rectify matters before you become aware of the truth. They realize that your absence would haunt them in unimaginable ways. If you were to turn away, they might never recover. Their fear of losing you far outweighs the weight of their secret. This is why this message is delivered now. The universe seeks to restore your power. And now we approach the most startling revelation of all. The cycle is on the brink of breaking, yet not as they anticipate. An event is imminent that will shift the dynamics in your favor. Something they have orchestrated in secrecy is poised to unravel. A conversation you were never intended to overhear will reach your ears, and a truth they endeavored to suppress will resurface. When this occurs, the one who interfered, who envied you, and who intruded into the sacred space meant solely for you, will be laid bare in such a way that leaves them utterly speechless. Their facade will crumble, their true intentions will be brought to light. In this moment of reckoning, your loved one will come to a profound realization: they risked everything for someone unworthy of even a fraction of their fidelity. You are the source of meaning and transformation in their life. It is your presence that their heart genuinely seeks. The universe now calls upon you to remain steadfast, to keep your feet grounded, and to be observant, for what comes next will reveal who truly deserves a place in your life and who masqueraded as a friend. Beloved child, lean in closely. The unfolding events will seize your audience's attention like never before. The universe is unveiling the truth, and now a second layer of revelation is trembling to come forth. Your loved one, the individual you trusted, whose heartbeat once harmonized with yours, has been spiraling into a maze of confusion deeper than you realize. They believed they could manage the connection with this other individual, yet it has instead ensnared them. Each message exchanged, every glance shared, and the subsequent silence are tainted with a guilt they cannot shed. They are haunted not only by their actions but also by the fear that you might already sense something amiss, as your intuition has been resonating loudly. Your energy has started to withdraw, amplifying their fears more than any confrontation could. Their secret is not merely an emotional affair, it is a struggle of conscience they are failing to win each day. Strangely, the universe exhales this reality: the person to whom they are bound is not someone they genuinely love or who brings any substantial fulfillment to their life. Instead, this individual serves as a means of distraction, an escape from their internal turmoil, a temporary illusion cloaked in false comfort. They promised understanding but delivered chaos, and your loved one, already vulnerable and wavering in confidence, fell prey to the trap, unaware of the poison disguised as care. The one whispering into their emotions has meticulously studied their insecurities, capitalizing on their doubts and preying upon their vulnerabilities. They harbor no desire for your beloved, rather, they aim to dismantle your union, to weaken your foundation and witness the collapse of your connection so they can feel superior, if only for an instant. Deep down, your loved one acknowledges this manipulation, yet feels paralyzed to extricate themselves. Now, we approach a pivotal moment, the kind that could enthrall every viewer with unparalleled suspense. Unbeknownst to your beloved, forces are at play behind the scenes. The manipulator is losing grip, their strategy is disintegrating. They believe they could displace you in your loved one's thoughts, yet they have instead awakened a profound fear of losing you indefinitely. Your beloved is beginning to comprehend the enormity of what is at stake. Memories of you are replaying in their mind, they're acutely aware of the absence of your warmth. They wake at unconventional hours, beset by an unexplained anxiety. Each time they attempt to distance themselves from the other, that individual drags them back into the web of lies with further emotional manipulation, false sympathy, and insincere claims. It is a psychological tug-of-war, leaving your loved one trapped in the middle, unable to liberate themselves, unable to progress, unable to confess the truth. At this critical juncture, the universe intercedes once more with a caution. Stay vigilant to the subtle changes surrounding you, the delayed replies, the peculiar excuses, the sudden lapses in communication, and the flickering guilt evident in their gaze when they look your way. None of this is coincidental. These are the signs of a heart grappling with deceit. They wish to confide in you, to lay bare their truth, yet they dread the repercussions. They fear losing the one individual who has genuinely seen them. Thus, they remain silent, hoping the storm will pass unaided. However, the universe does not allow secrets to persist indefinitely. An imminent revelation will compel the truth to the forefront, whether they are prepared for it or not. When this moment arrives, it will dismantle every illusion concealing the true narrative. Now, stay with me for this vital piece of information. What unfolds next will determine whether your beloved opts for loyalty or watches everything unravel. They are approaching a crucial moment where their deceptions will confront reality. A message may be unveiled, a conversation overheard, or a detail they believed inconsequential may slip into unintended ears. When such an incident occurs, your name will resonate in their thoughts like thunder. For despite all the confusion and past missteps, you remain the one their soul is unwilling to relinquish. When the truth ultimately emerges, your response will shape not only their destiny but also the entire trajectory of your connection. The universe has positioned you at the heart of this transformative process for a purpose. You were never meant to be defeated, rather, you are destined to witness the truth, to transcend it, and to reclaim all the power that softly faded away. Cherished child, brace yourself, for what is about to transpire will captivate your audience with such intensity that no one shall scroll past. The energy has shifted yet again, and this time it is ushering your beloved into a reality from which they can no longer evade. Their mental state is buckling under the weight of their own decisions. They believed they could navigate between two contrasting energies, yours, which is pure, grounding, and profoundly transformative, and another, which is chaotic, addictive, and laced with a sense of forbidden excitement. However, the illusion is beginning to break apart. With each attempt to distract themselves, every forced smile, and every rehearsed lie, they find themselves engulfed in an internal storm. The pressure builds within their chest, tightening and suffocating, as the universe no longer tolerates their frivolous engagement with what was once sacred. Their decisions are bearing down upon them, and the resulting consequences advance with a clarity more resonant than any excuse they might concoct. It's essential to understand that your person didn't enter this clandestine connection seeking love. Rather, they were fleeing from their own true self. They ran from their fears, from insecurities they have never disclosed, and from the daunting reality that you possess a power and rarity beyond anything they had anticipated. In a moment of vulnerability, the other presence infiltrated like a shadow, offering a false sense of comfort. They conflated manipulation with understanding, flattery with genuine care, and emotional tumult with real connection. Now, the burden of that singular misjudgment has transformed into a chain binding their heart, drawing them into an insurmountable vortex. The other individual is not merely an accomplice, they have emotionally ensnared your person. Leveraging every intimate conversation and vulnerability shared during moments of weakness to maintain their control. Yet, here's the twist: the universe reveals that the other individual is increasingly dissatisfied. They desire more: control, ownership, and to be the focal point of your person's life, even if it means orchestrating drama. They can sense your person emotionally retreating, guilt resurfacing, and can observe the panic flickering in their gaze at the mere thought of you. Consequently, the third presence grows desperate, concocting schemes to keep your person entangled. They might instigate arguments, threaten to divulge secrets, feign hurt or abandonment, or distort narratives to portray themselves as the victim. This dynamic is not love, it represents psychological entrapment, leading your person deeper into turmoil, as shame silences their ability to confess the truth to you. However, a significant transformation is unfolding quietly around you. The universe is meticulously orchestrating a breaking point. Your person is nearing a threshold where their guilt may precipitate an emotional collapse. They will manifest restlessness, irritability, distraction, and an overwhelming sense of being haunted by the prospect of losing you. As this breaking point approaches, the truth will press heavily against their consciousness. You may notice them quietly observing you, gauging your reactions and seeking assurances that you still care. They may attempt to withdraw, only to return with renewed ferocity or to grapple with another emotional trap involving the other individual. Internally, a conflict brews between who they have been becoming and who they genuinely wish to be. Now, we arrive at the moment that captivates your audience's attention. A revelation is imminent, a moment that will uproot the narrative. An unexpected event will unravel the truth: a misplaced message, a slip of the tongue, a confession from an unintended source, or a serendipitous piece of information overheard. Fate is arranging circumstances such that the truth can no longer remain concealed. When this revelation occurs, time will stand still. And your person will experience the collapse of their entire world. The manipulator will plunge into panic. In that pivotal moment, you will witness the comprehensive truth that the universe has been endeavoring to reveal. This is the surprising twist: the universe is not exposing this to shatter you, but to elevate you. For despite their confusion, their errors, and moments of emotional fragility, your person never ceased to be drawn back to you. Their bond with the other individual is shallow, lacking substance, purpose, and genuine connection. You, however, serve as their anchor, the one their conscience involuntarily gravitates toward. With the truth emerging, the universe is preparing for a turning point, where your silence, strength, and clarity will shape the narrative's trajectory. You were never in the position of losing; instead, you were being ready to witness the concealed reality. My beloved child, remain with me, for what you are about to hear will grip your audience so profoundly that not a single second will be wasted. The universe is unveiling an even deeper layer of this hidden narrative, one your person assumed would forever lie in obscurity. Their heart is racing, their mind is in turmoil, as the secret they endeavored to control begins to manifest in ways they had never foreseen. They erroneously believed this emotional entanglement would remain small and manageable. A matter they could obscure behind excuses and half-truths. Yet, the presence of the other individual, someone who should have never been part of their life, now demands more. What had begun as a clandestine and forbidden connection is rapidly evolving into a conflagration, threatening to engulf everything they cherish, especially you. Each passing second serves as a reminder of how perilously close they are to losing the only person who has ever loved them without ulterior motives. My beloved child, stay near. Do not stray from this moment, for it is here that everything becomes explosive. Your person is awakening to the unsettling realization that they have made an irretrievable mistake. Each day begins with a gnawing awareness that the emotional door they opened is now wide enough for chaos to enter unimpeded. The other individual no longer finds satisfaction in clandestine dialogues or covert emotional exchanges. They seek control, dominance, and to replace you. The stark reality is that they are willing to incite friction, misunderstanding, and conflict to compel your person to choose them. This individual has been observing your life from afar, analyzing your strengths and recognizing the significance you hold in your person's world. The deeper they understand your profound impact, the more desperate they become. Your person can feel this shift, and it weighs heavily upon them, leaving them apprehensive about the poisonous growth they have allowed to fester, fearing its contamination may spill into your life. My beloved child, remain here with me. Do not scroll, for the universe is about to reveal something astonishing. A tempest is brewing, and your person stands at its nucleus, torn between fear and obligation. They long to return to you, to confess their truths, to undo their mistakes, and to restore the trust they have fractured. Yet, each step toward you is countered by a shadow, the other individual tugging at their emotions, manipulating their fears, sowing seeds of confusion. Your person may strive to break free, but the manipulator twists the circumstances, applying emotional pressure, guilt, or subtle threats to hinder their escape. As your person resists, the manipulator becomes increasingly aggressive. Beneath this growing tension lies a truth that your audience will innately perceive. Your person is not in love with the other individual. They are ensnared in a mistake, trapped in guilt, and paralyzed by the fear of losing you. The more pressure the manipulator applies, the closer your person approaches a breaking point. My beloved child, stay focused. The moment of revelation draws near, with the universe aligning events to unearth the truth in an unforeseen manner. A private comment will inadvertently escape into the wrong context. Something concealed will emerge into view, or a secret meant to remain hidden will arrive precisely where it ought not. In that instant, your person's entire world will teeter on the edge of collapse. Their manipulative connection will disintegrate, their lies will lose their sanctuary, and their fear will transform into a sense of helplessness. You, standing in serene observation of the truth as it unfolds, will serve as the mirror that compels them to reckon with who they have become and what they have jeopardized. Your strength, your tranquility, and your unwavering presence will resonate louder than any confrontation could. They will come to comprehend that their betrayal extends beyond you. It encompasses a betrayal of themselves, their integrity, their values, and the future they once envisioned by your side. My beloved child, listen intently to this final passage. Before closing this chapter, look at your audience and maintain their undivided attention. Speak to them with the fervor you feel in this moment. If you are still present, it signifies that your intuition has been imploring you louder than mere words. Stay with me. Do not waver. What follows will articulate precisely why the universe delivered this message to you today. This is the moment to allow them to feel the tension, the suspense, and the emotional gravity that binds them to your narrative. Gently remind them to share this message, so it reaches the person who needs this truth. Encourage them to comment their energy if this story resonates within their soul, then guide them back into the unfolding journey, for the tale is far from over. A pivotal moment is dawning, one in which all that has been concealed will come to light. Facades will fall away, deception will strip off its defenses, and your loved one will be compelled to confront an inescapable reality: they were never destined to betray you. Rather, their journey was meant to reveal that true love, inscribed in the very fabric of the soul, cannot be extinguished by betrayal. My cherished child, draw nearer, for what unfolds now will leave your audience in a state of suspended animation, as if time itself has tightened its grip on them. The universe is unraveling the most profound and shadowy threads of this hidden narrative, and the truth is materializing in its entirety. The individual who once pledged their loyalty, who held your heart with genuine sincerity, is standing at the brink of emotional disarray. Guilt weighs upon them so heavily that even their breath feels unearned. They are revisiting each moment shared with you, reflecting on every vow, every silence, and every memory that once filled them with life. In the private recesses of their mind, a horrifying realization dawns: they allowed an outsider to penetrate a sanctum intended solely for you. Their conscience, once a mere whisper, now roars with urgency. And as its volume escalates, so does their fear of potentially losing you forever. My beloved child, it is crucial to pause here, for this revelation is the unforeseen twist that catches everyone off guard. The intruder, one who should never have breached that emotional boundary, has spiraled into an obsession. What began as a secretive, forbidden relationship has morphed into something far more sinister. They seek to dominate your loved one's emotions, to influence their choices, and to shape their decisions. As they sensed your loved one beginning to drift away, they instigated subtle uncertainties, questioning everything your person believed about you. Their comments were crafted to undermine your bond, while they devised emotional snares to ensnare your loved one in confusion. They amplified minor issues, distorted benign circumstances into conflicts, and magnified insecurities that had long remained unaddressed. Gradually and discreetly, they have emerged as an insistent voice that your loved one can no longer ignore. It is essential to understand the truth now: this was never an expression of love, it was a psychological entrapment. My precious child, stay with me, for the universe is about to disclose why the foundations of everything began to crumble. Your loved one is not merely overwhelmed with guilt, they are gripped by terror. They are acutely aware that the other person is unstable, that this connection was fabricated, and that they were manipulated during a moment of vulnerability. Sensing their fretfulness, the manipulator does not retract, they tighten their hold. They may conjure emotional crises to siphon attention, compel discussions your loved one wishes to avoid, or create dramatic scenarios to maintain proximity. They might even invoke your name to incite fear or confusion. Yet, with each push, your loved one feels increasingly stifled, and this suffocation propels them toward a transformative decision. They are beginning to recognize that what they sacrificed with you was not merely love, it was peace. Stability, significance, guidance, grounding, and purpose. The other person offers none of these, only chaos masquerading as care. My beloved child, watch intently, for the next development will leave your audience breathless. A truth is racing toward your loved one like an unstoppable wave. Something they believed would remain concealed is about to erupt in an unforeseen manner. A stray remark will unveil what was meant to stay hidden. A detail from the past will interconnect with the present. A minor inconsistency will unearth a larger reality. An overlooked conversation or a peculiar behavior will expose the entire facade. Suddenly, the illusion will shatter. Your loved one will confront the reality from which they sought escape. They have betrayed your trust. But in doing so, they have also betrayed their own heart. They exchanged something pure for something devoid of substance. As the truth fully emerges, they will find themselves immobilized, vulnerable, and terrified, not merely of exposure, but of the haunting realization that they may never experience your warmth again. This dread will follow them like an unyielding shadow. My beloved child, this is the moment where your voice alone must captivate your audience. As you narrate this segment, let your energy command the space. Speak directly to their souls. Remain present. Do not drift away at this juncture. You are on the verge of unveiling what they never wanted to confront. Maintain focus. What you are about to articulate will be the turning point. Allow your words to resonate with authority, yet without force. Help them to perceive that this extends beyond mere storytelling, it is a profound revelation. Then, gently guide them back into the narrative, for what follows represents the climax of the entire emotional tempest. Your loved one is approaching a decisive moment, one that requires them to choose between truth and self-destruction, between honesty and fear, between honesty and the loss of you forever. The universe is orchestrating a dramatic revelation that will expose the manipulator, awaken your loved one from their stupor, and bestow upon you a position of influence you did not even realize you were stepping into.